Well, howdy, folks. It's Brian, and we're doing the reveal on the super secret build that we had been working on for the last few weeks. And it is the M2 Bradley U.S. Army Infantry Fighting Vehicle, as it says here on the box side, from the Academy kit. This is a 1/35th scale, and I've not built armor before, and I actually enjoyed it. I enjoyed the process of the assembly. I enjoyed the process of learning about this particular vehicle as I went along in the building process. I, of course, always enjoy the weathering process. That's always a lot of fun for me. Perhaps you've noticed. But seriously, though, this was sort of a commission by my brother's wife, Tina. She asked me to build this for him. But the funny thing is that I had given him this kit like I'm going to say 15 years ago for his birthday, and now we are full circle with building it for him, and we're going to deliver it this evening. This is Sunday, October 24th. So we're going to go out to dinner with them in a little while, and I'm going to present this to him then. And I hope he likes it. I really hope he likes it. I know he served in Desert Storm. He doesn't talk about it very often, which is it's his privilege. So he does tell a story here and there, but he doesn't really go into depth about it. And anybody who has a veteran in their life will know probably why. So without much more ado, we just wanted to talk a little bit about the actual building process of this particular kit and how I feel something along these lines would be pretty much worth your time and trouble should you want to start building armor and you want a kit to try and cut your teeth on, so to speak. This one went together really well. I had just to clean up on the little nibs from when you cut stuff off the tree. I didn't have to reshape anything. I didn't have to recarve anything. The only major thing I had to do was where the turret sits down on top of the main hull. I had to just sort of sand that down a little bit, and that was only because we had layered paint buildup on those, so that was a real tight fit. The kit is molded in some sort of desert tan color. I didn't really like that, but plus we like the way paint reacts with weathering and stuff like that. So we did kind of just nix that idea, but we did follow Andy's technique of doing an overall black, and then coming back and doing white highlights here and there, and then spraying the entire body color over the hull and turret and everything. And then after we did all that, we did some white leathering. We did some leathering. We did some weathering passes with some Tamiya panel liners, and then kind of tone that back a little bit with you can use a little bit of mineral spirits to bring back the weathering a little bit from those guys. I actually use what I have left over in the stash, this stuff here. So I just wet a Q-tip with that, make it a little bit drier because it will react with the Tamiya paint since it hasn't been sealed. And then just be very careful about how much you apply on there. So you use a wet Q-tip to apply to remove most of it, and you go back with a dry Q-tip to take off the excess. But let's see here. There is several different ways you can have things on this particular kit. On the actual box art, they have a photograph where one of these panels has been removed, and I really liked how the box art builder had done that. They obviously had sliced out everything, but they left these little buckles in place, so that it really looks like that's supposed to clip in place and just sort of hang there. I thought that was pretty cool. I didn't want to do that on this kit. I wanted it to look like it was ready to roll. All we needed to do was wait for the guys to load up and boogie on out. So I wanted to have that look. A couple of things you can do, like have the driver's hatch positioned open. Also, the commander and gunner positions can be opened and left open. And there's a little bit of detail down inside the turret, but not very much. There's actually more detail inside the driver's position. And in the rear here, there's like a loading hatch here that can be positioned to open as well. It gives you a little peek down inside. And then around and back, there's actually a large door with a smaller hatch that can be left open, or the door can be dropped down. And actually, let's see if we can do that. There we go. It's a pressure fit, so it comes open rather easily. So the interior, we painted that with We did that with AS5, which is light blue. It's a Luftwaffe color, which is fine because apparently I painted the whole thing in a German a German tan color. So, I mean, I have to chuckle about that because I just went digging through my paint stash looking for a color that I thought would look good, and here I am coming up with a German desert color, and then I painted the interior a German aircraft color. So. At least I'm sticking with the theme. But there's a lot of detail for the interior. I did do some washes and some shading and stuff like that in there. Like on the rear hatch here, we have a little bit of Ushi powder on there to sort of resemble. Let's see if we can get a camera flare on there, a light flare, so to speak. You can see a little bit of a sheen on there from boots wearing on the paint and wearing that down, and then some dirty tracks throughout the bottom of the floor and everything. But there is a few little areas you can actually have tow missiles stowed over here on this side. There's chairs in the back, and then a couple of chairs on the side for communications and commander position, stuff like that. There is no detail inside the turret for anything that goes on in the turret, and of course no detail for the engine. It is what it is. But armor kits, from my personal point of view, it's all about what goes on the outside. So one of the cool things about this particular kit was the way it goes together. So there's an upper hull and lower hull, and they sandwich together. And then we all familiar with those little polycaps that you get with Fujimi kits and Tamiya kits, the little pieces that actually hold the wheels to the car. There's some larger polycaps that are attached to studs down inside the lower hull, and then when you squish everything together, it captures the upper hull pins and holds it in place. And I thought that was really cool. So you don't actually have to go and glue this together. Should anything happen, you have to get back inside there, type of thing. That's just my theory, but I really liked how it went together. I didn't have to worry about some gigantic glue seam going all the way around. And then, as luck would have it, these side panels pretty much cover a lot of the crimes that might be going on the upper hull. So when you're painting everything, you can actually hold it right down in this area here where my thumb's at, and just cover it over with the panel later on, and you're good to go. So we did an overall color of this tank with the dark yellow XF60, and we did use this guy. I love this guy. This is our no name. Yeah, it's our no name. Yeah, this is what we got from Spray Gunner. It's the no name spray gun, and it's the portable rechargeable one. And we did a rattle can black coat over the entire thing after a primer coat. I did primer coat because I'm a car guy, and that's my thing. So I did primer coat. I did a black coat over the top of that, over every single piece that we saw on the outside of the hull. And then we went back and did Andy's technique of doing a white coat for the highlight areas, and then we came back with the XF60 to actually do the color for the hull. And I did the white coat and the XF60 coat with the portable rechargeable airbrush. I hadn't used this very much since I first got it. It had just over time, one of the power bars had leaked down. So we just started with 3 bars. I thought we'll just go as far as we can. I finished the entire model with 2 bars left, and then it didn't take very long to charge back up again, just a little while to charge back up, and we were back at it. After we did all the color coat and everything, we went back with a couple of washes of the panel liner from Tamiya. So we did the light brown, and then we did also the dark brown. We did a lot more of the dark brown. The light brown comes up sometimes as more of a rust color, but we did a lot of washing with the dark brown, and then a few darker areas we wanted to hit with the black, of course, so we did that. And then once that all dried, if we had to knock it back a little bit, I sometimes use some of this stuff here, or you can use a little bit of mineral spirits on a Q-tip. Make sure that it's not too damp, because it will affect the Tamiya paint, especially the airbrush paint. So just a gentle touch on that to wipe off any excess panel liner that might dribble down or something like that. Or if you want to do some streaking techniques also, like I did on the side here. I think it's a little more prominent on this other side. Yeah, it is. So you do some streaking techniques on there. That's the stuff to use with the panel liner. And then once we got all the weathering the way we wanted it to. I went over the whole thing with some of this stuff from Mig here. This is, it just says it's light sand, and that's what we wanted. We wanted a dusty appearance because, of course, this is supposed to be Desert Storm era. So we just did a light spray over the road wheels, the tracks. Everybody did a very oblique angle to have it shooting up from the bottom to look like dust stuck to it, and then some passes over the top from a little far away. And then once that was all done, we went back with just a little bit of the Tamiya weathering powder, mostly the sand and the light sand, to just sort of highlight and dusty up a few areas here and there that we couldn't get to with the airbrush. But all in all, I had a blast building this. I relished the challenge of doing this. I remember when I gave this to my brother, I remember thinking, man, I really wish I had one for myself to do. But he's not a model builder. He loved the model, but he's not a model builder, so he just kept a hold of it for forever. And then when they moved recently, I think about 3 months ago, they moved, and his wife Tina snuck this out to us, and she's like, "Can you build this for him for his birthday?" I'm like, "Sure, no problem." And he'll be having his birthday coming up here this week. So, yep, we're going to pack this up here and put it in a nice case. I am going to try attaching a couple of small antenna, like a little whip antenna deals here and back here, just to give a little bit more visual interest, and then an ushi powder on the gun barrel, and then I think we'll be officially done with this one. But thank you all for tuning in. I know armor's not really my jam. If you stuck through the video this far, I super appreciate that. Go get yourself a cookie, any flavor you like. And we're going to sign off. Y'all take it easy. Have a good rest of your weekend, and we'll talk to you a little bit later. Bye now.